Okay, so very good afternoon to all of you. Okay, so in the last session, we have discussed about my volume is proper. Are you able to hear properly? Derek, Karthik, yes, okay, okay. So in the last session, we have discussed about the dynamic equation of the DSPM machine. Okay, so this is the, we can say, or we can say system equation for DSPM machine. Okay, so we have seen that the basic equation, we have started from the basic equation, which is V is equal to Ri plus d psi by dt. Okay, psi, it is a leakage flux, and this leakage flux, it is a combination of two flux. One is due to the stator current and second is due to the permanent magnets. Okay, so this is the equation of psi. What is the total flux is there? Okay, then we have taken this equation, psi is equal to Li plus psi pm. Now, in the last session, I told you that this L and psi both are depends upon the rotor position. Okay, so here we have discussed they are depending upon the rotor position. Okay, so what we will do, we will try to convert this dt into the d theta. Okay, so first of all, we have differentiated this equation with respect to t. Okay, then what we have done, instead of the t, we have converted into the term of theta. Okay, so in this equation, you can see that the dt is converted into the d theta. And omega r, it is a constant because it is a rotor speed, so it doesn't depends upon the rotor position. Okay, then the dynamic equation we have derived di by d theta. Okay, by putting all these values. So finally we got this equation, this one. Okay, now if we are discussing about the developed torque, so we have discussed that the developed torque, it is based on the co-energy method. Okay, so in this case it is a singly excited system. Why? Because they are giving the excitation to the stator winding only. There is no field winding in this DSPM. Okay, doubly salient pole, we can say stator permanent magnet machine. Okay, so this is the, so the one energy is due to the stator, okay, stator current, and the other energy is due to the permanent magnets. Okay, so we can say that this is the d theta 1 by 2 Li square. Okay, so this particular term, it is nothing, it is a reluctance torque. It is called as a reluctance torque. Okay, and the second term, it is called as a reaction torque. Okay, so here we have discussed that Te is equal to Ti plus Tpm. Tr, it is a reluctance torque, okay, which is depends upon due to the variation of inductance it is developed, and Tpm, it is called as a reaction torque. It is the due to the interaction between the stator winding current and permanent magnet flux. Okay, so that is the final equation that we have derived for the torque. Okay, now in this particular equation, if consider that if we are applying a stator current which is in a rectangular form, if we are applying a stator current which is a rectangular current, okay, then what happens, the average of this will be 0. Okay, so if the average will be 0, then we can say that this portion equal to 0. Okay, so only which portion is remaining, only the portion, this portion, okay, will be remain. Okay, so we can say that, so in that case we can say that the resultant torque, in which case if rectangular current is applied, okay, then the resultant torque Te is only due to permanent magnet torque. Okay, means only due to this term. Okay, so I hope that up to it is clear. Okay, now next is the converter topology. So converter for next topic is converter for DSPM. Okay, now generally there is a two topology we are using. We can say the converter which we are using, it is a bipolar. Okay, bipolar means what? Can anybody tell me? What is the meaning of bipolar? The reactance terms become zero because of the constant L with rotor position, right? Oh. No, Derek, the current, the average torque will be zero. See over here. The Derek is asking about this particular equation. Derek, please tell me, you are asking about this equation, which I have discussed in these three lines. Yes or no? Please give a reply. You are asking about this term. Yes, Karthik. Yes, Derek, because we know that the inductance have a shape in this direction also. Okay. If the rotor position is vary, okay, and you can know that suppose consider that this is the winding, you can give a plus and minus, okay, then you can take here minus and here plus. Okay. So this is the bipolar converter. Yes, Karthik. Okay, because we have a, say for example, 4 phases. So 4 phases. So there are 8 possibility will be there. Okay. So here you are giving a plus, here minus, or you are giving a minus, you are plus. Okay. So that is called as a bipolar. Okay. And Derek, your question is about that this term will be how it will be zero. Okay. Because if you are applying the current in this manner, then what happens? You know that the torque is also comes positive side and negative side. Okay, that we have also discussed in the SRM. Are you getting? In the SRM, we have discussed that you are getting a positive torque as well as the negative torque. Why the negative torque is there? So to avoid this negative torque, what we are doing? We are making the current zero. Okay, but here if the negative side current is there, then what happens? The negative torque is there. So this term, if the rectangular current is applied, this term have a two terms. One is a positive, okay, and other is a negative. So equivalent resultant of this will be zero. Are you getting this? Okay. Yes. This particular this term is divided into two. One is a positive and other is a negative. So the average of this will become a zero. Okay. Because your current is both the side. So torque is also both the side. So the average torque will be zero. Okay. Is it clear now? Okay. So about the bipolar converter. So yes, Karthik, when the current can flow in both the direction, known as a bidirectional converter. Yes. Okay. So let us we will discuss. So generally we are using a bipolar converter. So we can utilize the we can utilize the machine fully. Okay. Now in this bipolar converter, again there are two possibility. Okay, one is called as a full bridge inverter. Okay, here you can say converter or we can say inverter topology. So full bridge inverter and second is a half bridge inverter. Okay, now generally in a DSPM machine, this topology is preferable. In DSPM, this is preferable because the losses in the power devices will be less because it is a half bridge inverter. Okay, so number of power devices will be less. Okay, so the loss in power devices will be less. Okay, so that is the benefit of this half bridge inverter. Okay, and this we are using with a split capacitor. Okay, so half bridge inverter with split capacitor. Okay, so now how it is look like? So here we are discussing about the four phases. Okay, so consider there are four phases. Okay, these are the power devices. Okay, now from this center we are connecting to the phases, means winding. Okay, now consider that here our motor winding is there, means stator is there. Okay, in a stator there are the four windings. Okay, and it is a concentrated winding. So there are 8 terminals will be there. Okay, consider it is A, it is small a, so this is one winding. B, its end is small b. C, its end is small c. D, and its end is a small d. Okay, so we are giving connecting this one with a, this one with a b, this one with a c, and this one with a d. Okay, and all ends are connected together. Okay, and it will create a neutral point. Okay, now we are giving a supply. This is supply. Okay. And it is a split capacitor. So what we will do, the center point of the split capacitor is connected to the neutral of the winding. Okay, so consider that here you are connecting capacitors. Okay, and the center point is this, is connected to the neutral of the winding. Like this. Okay. Now we are connecting a current sensor, current controller, we can say. So here there is a current controller. Okay. We are connecting a position sensor. Now how the position sensor is look, okay, and how the signal is given to the power devices that we are discussing. Okay, so consider that we are see in a detail that how the position sensor and the windings are getting a we can say signal. So consider that this is a position sensor. So the position sensor will detect the rotor position, so it will detect a theta. Okay, and according to the rotor angle, the which winding will be excited, so current will be controlled. Okay, and this is given to the, we can say, pulse to the switching devices or power devices. So it is giving a gate pulse. Okay, it is gate pulse is given to the different power devices. Okay, which we want to on. Okay, now as we know that we are connecting a freewheeling diode. Okay, so across this you can connect a freewheeling diode. Okay, now consider that this is my switch S1. Okay, this is switch S2. So this is A phase. It means we can say S1 and S2 is associated with A phase. This is S3, S4. It is associated with a B phase. S5, S6 associated with a C phase. S7 and S8 associated with a D phase. Okay. So here we can say the current is IA. Okay. Here the current is IB. Here the current is IC. And here the current is ID. Okay. And if there is any abnormality there or imbalance current is there, then the path is completed by this. So it is the unbalanced current, we can say I0. Okay. So this topology, it is called as a half bridge inverter with split capacitors. For DSPF. Okay, this is called as a. So why we are using a split capacitor connection is connected with a neutral point of the winding. Okay, so it is just for the communication or means to accommodate the unbalanced current. Okay, so whenever it will unbalanced current during the commutation period. Now, as per the diagram, here we can see that the phase winding turned on and turn off. Now, what is the meaning of phase winding turn off and turn on? Means the switch S1 is on, S3 is on, S5 is on, which one is on? Okay, so this is depends upon the specific rotor position theta. Okay, so whatever the rotor position is there, according to that, you are switching on and off this particular phase windings A, B, C, and D. Okay. You have to assume that here also there is a freewheeling diode, okay? Because we are connecting across each power devices. Okay. So here we can say that according to this rotor position theta, the winding may be turned on and turned off. Okay, so it means what? The rotor position information is very much required. Okay, and this rotor position we are getting by using a position sensor, and for that we are using a optocoupler. Okay, so how the position sensor is look like in a DSPM? So the position sensor is look like consider that here the teeth is there. 1 minute I will draw and then I will explain. Okay. Now consider that this is a motor housing or we can say stator is there. Okay. It is the outer body. Okay. Now here in this, consider this is a shaft. Inside there is a rotor shaft because we are putting a rotor inside. So this is a rotor shaft. Okay. Now here this is a slotted disc is put. This is nothing. It is a slotted disc. This one is. This is the slotted disc. Okay. Now on this slotted disc, the optocoupler is attached here. One optocoupler, consider it is here. Okay. And the second optocoupler is over here. The main thing is that between the two optocoupler, the distance will be 45 degree. If we will see the center, okay, then two optocoupler are with put at a distance of 45 degree. Now say for example, this optocoupler given name SP, okay, and this one is SQ. Okay. Now how we can how the rotor position will give an indication that which winding should be on and off. Okay, and for that there is a control logic you have to provide. So control logic for 8 by 6 4-phase DSPM motor. Okay. Now, we have to create a one table. Okay, consider there are the 4 phases. Okay. So here the optocoupler is, the combination is SQ, SP, or we can say SPSQ, whatever. Okay. So now how many combinations are possible? So for that, how many combinations are possible in a binary, we can say? If SP and SQ, only 2 couplers are there, then for on and off, how many possible combinations? Yes, yes, Derek, 4 combination will be possible. Okay. So 1, okay, 2, 3, okay, and the last one is 4. Okay, no doubt there is a additional space. Okay, now consider that the first combination is, we can say, 0 and 1. Okay, means the SQ optocoupler is not getting any signal, SP is getting. Okay, then 1 both are getting a signal. SQ is activated, SP is not activated, and both are inactivated. Okay, so these are 4 possible combination. Now we have a 4 phases. So phase A, phase B, phase C, and phase D. Okay, now for a phase A, we have a switch number S1 and S2. It is for a phase A. See this diagram. Okay, for a phase A, this is our phase A winding is going. Okay, so there is a S1 and S2 are associated with a phase A. S3 and S4 is associated with a phase B and S1. Okay, so here I can write S1, S2, S3, S4, S5, S6, S7, and S8. Okay. Okay, and as I told you, between the two these optocouplers, we are putting a 45-degree from each other. Okay. Now for this, we can say this control logic, what we have to do at any time, the switches, or we can say power devices. 1 minute. In the upper and lower leg. Of the inverter are conducting in a pair. Okay, it means what? Say for example, the phase A maybe switch on with a phase B, phase C. Okay, same way, maybe the phase B is switch on with a phase D. Okay, so if we are making here S1 is on, okay, S2 is off. Same way, S3 is off, S4 is on, S5 is off, S6 is on, S7 is on, S8 is off. Okay, so just I will keep 1 1 0 0. Okay, you can start from anywhere 0 0 1 1. Okay, 0 1 1 0 1 0 0 1. Then yes, 0 0 1 1. Okay, 1 1 0 0 1 0 0 1, and the last one is 0 1 1 0. Okay, so if we will see this first one, even the SQ is not activated, but SP is activated. Okay, so in that case, the in a upper leg, the S1 is conducting, means the phase A is conducting. Okay, and in a lower leg, see over here, in a lower leg, these are the lower legs, S2, S4, S6, and S8. These circled are the lower leg. Okay, so which phase is conducting? With a phase A, which phase is going to conduct in a lower leg? Yes, yes, Derek. So there is a possibility of C and B. Okay, so here we can say the is this A is conduct with this lower leg of phase C. So this is the one combination. Okay, and phase B, here see the phase B, it is a lower one. Okay, and the D is the upper one. Okay, so this is the second combination. Okay, so when we are doing this, what happens? There is a possibility of removing this connection between the center point of the capacitor. Why? Because if you are doing this, okay, then what happens? You are reversing the connection. Okay, and that connections you have to switch over in a time of theta on is equal to theta on plus theta CR by 2. Now, what is a theta CR? It is a rotor pole pitch. Just a second. is equal to rotor pole pitch. Okay, same way theta of is equal to theta of plus theta CR by 2. Okay, first of all I will draw the waveform, so you can, or I will take this directly. 1 minute. One second, I drew this complete. Okay, now see over here. Are you able to see this waveforms? Okay. What about others? Okay, so now see that in this waveform, this shows the input given to the optocoupler P, and this is the input to the optocoupler Q. Okay, so here it is shows the 0, 1. Okay, now in our case, what we have written is Q is P. Okay, so there is a possibility of 0, 1, 1, 1, 1, 0, and 1, 1. Okay, so see this particular portion in a 0, 1. Okay, so there is a minimum input to the SQ and your SP is high. Okay, and after 15 degree, okay, after 50 degree, both are 1, 1. Okay, this is 1, 1, it is a 0, 1. Okay, again after 15 degree, what happens? This P is a 0 and Q is a 1. So it is 1, 0. Okay, and after 15 degree, both are 0. This is 0 and this is 0. Okay, so it is a 0, 0. Okay, so we can say that this one cycle of this optocoupler, it is completed at a 60 degree. Okay, 15 into 4, 60 degrees there. Okay, so in a mechanical, if we will see that it's in a mechanical angle 0, 15, 30, 45 and 60 degree. Okay, so here there is a one cycle of this SP and SQ is completed. It means your disc, which is called as a slotted disc. Okay, on a slotted disc you have put a two optocoupler SP and SQ. So here the one cycle is completed at a 60 degree. But if we will see in case of the electrical degree, then we have a 4 windings. Okay, so we will get a 4 waveform of the flux linkage. Okay, so here it shows the flux linkage with a phase A winding, okay, phase B and phase C. Okay, so now see over here. So here you will observe that this is, you can say, like a inductance envelope. Okay, so here you can see that the one cycle is completed over here. Okay, this is the one cycle. Okay, because the same shape is again repeating. Okay, so in electrical we can see it is a 360 degrees completed because here the one cycle is completed. Okay, after that the same shape is again repeating. Okay, so this depends the which inductance way of shape is look like this. Why? Because you are switching your power devices in a such a way as the angle of this or we can say the SQ and SQ will be changed, and according to that you are giving a signal over here. See here. So the position of the rotor means it is related to SQ and SP. Okay, and according to that the signal may be 0, okay, 0111, okay, to that the signal is current controller. Okay, and according to that the particular phase will be conducted by switching on this particular we can say devices. Say for example here in this example, if S1 and S6, then the phase A and phase C are conducting. Okay, phase A and phase C. Okay, so here you can see if optocoupler have a 0, 1, phase A and phase C is conducting. So if we will see the waveform, okay, so this is about the phase A, okay, and this is about the phase C. So here you can see that one is rising. Are you getting? The A phase is a rising and the C phase is going down. Are you getting yes or no? Because both are simultaneously charged. Okay, so one is positive and other is a negative. Okay, because see, consider that this is a winding and this is a C winding. Okay, so A winding is getting like this supply. Okay, and the C winding is getting a supply like this. Okay, because here the switch S1 is conducting. Okay, and here the switch S6 is conducting. Are you getting? Okay, same way there is a when the SQ and both are getting a signal. Both are getting a signal. Okay, here you can see. And also in the same time, I told you there are two possibility that one is a B phase and D phase. Okay, there is another possibility B and D. Okay, so if here in this case, what should be happen? So here we can say in this case, B should be down. Okay, its flux linkage envelope should be down and the D should be rising. Okay, so that should be draw in the waveform. So here you can see for the same, this is our B. So you can see B is going down and D is going rise. Are you getting this? Yes, Derek. D to B. No, 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 no. Just a second. I will show this figure again, Derek. Okay. Now see that once your current path should be completed. Okay, just a second. Huh? Okay, now you can. So if I can say that this S1 and S6 is conducting. So what is the path? So this one is on. Okay. So here it is connected with a positive side. Are you getting? S1 is on. Okay. So here this A phase is getting a positive. Okay. And S6 is conducting. So it is connected with a negative side. Are you getting now, Derek? So here it is negative and here it is positive and here it is negative, here it is positive. So your path is completed like this. Is it clear? And if there is any unbalance, then and then the current is going in this case. Is it clear, Derek? From A and C, when the A and C are comes in the picture, winding A and winding C. Okay, again I'm repeating the path. See over here, S1, S6. Okay, so that is the way, positive. Okay, S1 goes in a winding A. Okay, then the C is conducting because its power device is switch number S6 is on. So this path like this, okay, it will be completed and it is come back over here. Okay, so how you can draw this waveform? So you can draw this waveform as per the truth table we have created, or we can say control logic, whatever we have created. When there is a 1 is coming, whenever there is a SP and SQ, both are getting a signal. Okay, both are getting a signal, means this position. So the phase A is rising. The phase A is rising. Okay, and the phase C is going down. Okay, so let us, if we will see about 1. Okay, so here you can see this is a 1. Okay, so you can see your phase A is rising. Okay, and your phase A is goes down. Okay, so by creating this control logic, you can draw this waveform. Is it clear, Karthik, Derek, Akash, Toe? Are you there, Karthik? Okay. Okay, and the main thing is that between these two optic coupler SP and SQ, we are keeping how much degree? 45 degrees. So here you can see this is a 60. Okay, and here there is a 50. Okay, so if you will see that 16 minus 15, 45. Okay, so here we have completed one topology, which is a half inverter with a split capacitor with a position sensor, and the position sensor have a 2 optocouplers which are putting at a 45 degree. So we have seen that if you are putting at a 45 degree 2 optocouplers, okay, then how the phase is conducting and what should be the shape of inductance, or in other terms we can say what is the profile of the flux linkages for a different phases. Okay, so I hope that up to it is clear. So here I am ending the session. Okay, thank you all of you. In the next lecture we will start a switch reversing motor. Okay, the next one is a one minute. Okay. Okay, so in the next session, we are discussing about FRPM, flux reversal permanent magnet, and flux switching. Okay, so thank you all of you. And yes, there is a one announcement. All of you are here. Please write in chat box yes. So there is a one announcement for all of you. Please write down yes in a chat box. Akash, yes. Derek is there. Karthik is there. Toe. because I have to do one announcement related to the Canvas quiz. Akash, are you there? Toe? Okay, Toe is there. Okay. So now Heath, are you there? Okay, Akash, please give a message to the Heath also. Okay, and those uh, Sachin and Vikas, if they are okay. Tomorrow I will float one quiz in a Canvas. Okay, the quiz is related to it is a quiz number 1. Okay, it is from the unit number 1, unit number 2 plus unit number 3 up to which we have done. Okay, this 1 and 2 it is fully units, and 3 up to today. Okay, whatever we have done up to today. Is it clear? And it have only 10 question, 10 MCQ. Okay, Akash, no issue. Okay, tomorrow I will create a quiz, and the time will be on Monday in my lab slot. We can say you have to attempt this quiz from 3 p.m. to 3:15 p.m. Monday. Okay, I will create a quiz, but I will open the quiz at 3 p.m. Is it clear? So you have a time, Saturday and Sunday, Saturday, Sunday for the preparation. Okay, again I'm repeating, the questions will be from the unit number 1, full unit number 2 and unit number 3 to today, whatever we have done. Okay, and this quiz one is containing a 10 MCQ. Is it clear to all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, on Monday. Okay, and also tomorrow I am creating a one assignment in a Canvas. Okay, assignment 1. So this assignment 1 have a total 9 question will be there. Okay, again this 9 question is from the unit number 1, 2 and 3. Okay, so you have to go for a 2 assignments. Okay, I will give a 15 days for assignment 1. Okay, so you have to complete this assignment in a 15 days, and it have a total 9 questions will be there, unit number 1, 2 and unit number 3. Okay, maybe it happened that the 1 or 2 questions from the unit number 3 may be not completed. So whenever the unit number 3 is completed, you can attempt this 1 or 2 questions. Okay, so these 2 things I have to announce. Okay, one is quiz on Monday. Okay, and there is a one assignment one be float by tomorrow. Okay, so tomorrow you will see the assignment open in your Canvas. You can see the question, write your answer. Okay, and you can upload. Okay, so thank you all of you.